Kim Kardashian's new crime podcast has shot to the summit of Spotify's top podcasts as Meghan Markle's series goes down to 4th place. Her latest project, Kim Kardashian's The System, the case of Kevin Keith, looks into the case of the Ohio man after he was sentenced to death for committing a triple murder, before former Governor Ted Strickland commuted his sentence to life without parole in 2010. Only 2 episodes have been released since the launch of the podcast on Monday, October the 3rd, but her huge following, she has 331 million Instagram followers, has helped usurp longtime fan favourite The Joe Rogan Experience from the top spot. Meghan Markle's podcast Archetypes debuted in the number 1 slot when the first episode was released last month. After a brief hiatus following the Queen's death, Markle is now in 4th place. Markle fans said she was going to come to America and dethrone the Kardashians 3 years in and still waiting. Markle turned out not to be the money-making machine that she wanted to be. Meghan Markle used her last Archetype podcast to examine the East Asian temptress whose mysterious foreign allure is scripted as both tantalising and deadly as depicted in movies. However, the critique has been blasted by Glasgow comedian Leo Kearse, who said Markle was an insufferably woke, race-baiting, self-obsessed grifter. The anti-woke comic and GB News commentator said, perma-moaning race grifter Meghan Markle criticises the stereotype of Asian women portrayed in films such as Kill Bill and Austin Powers. I was glad that she pointed out these films contain stereotypes because I thought that they were documentaries. Nobody thinks the portrayals of Asians in these films have any bearing on real life. Is she aware that Kill Bill is a homage to 70s sensationalised martial arts films, and Austin Powers is a satire of the fantasy world of James Bond? Whatever is she going to complain about next? Lethal Weapon gives an unrealistic depiction of the amount of paperwork police officers have to fill in. Paddington Bear spreads dangerous myths about the approachability and language skills of bears. Top Gun gives an improbable portrayal of Air Force height requirements. He added, the only myth being spread is that anyone wants to listen to this insufferably woke, race-baiting, self-obsessed grifter. Besides, Piers Morgan has scolded Meghan Markle, who recently claimed she was a princess, despite never actually being granted the royal title. Despite marrying a prince, Meghan's career on her son Archie's birth certificate was listed as Princess of the United Kingdom, but she can't be known as Princess Meghan as she wasn't born into the royal family. Speaking on her Archetypes podcast, Meghan claimed she was conscious about meeting young girls who would say, "Oh my god, it's a real-life princess." This, however, angered Piers, who's been outspoken against the former Deal or No Deal star. He said, "She calls herself a princess on her podcast. Little girls who grow up to make a real princess. You're not a princess. She's not a princess anyway. I'm from Sussex. I've spent more time in Sussex than Meghan and Harry have in the last 2 weeks. It's actually a month, but they're never there." He continued, "They've got these titles which are given to them. That's really what I mean. They trade off Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the royals, to make themselves incredibly rich. And I just do wonder if there's a point where King Charles goes, actually, you can't do that anymore. It'd be unprecedented, but why wouldn't he?"